The first time ever, nothing happened before this. Absolutely nothing happened before this. I am totally not going into my VODs right now and deleting those moments before. Yes, that never happened, right? Right, guys? That never happened. That absolutely never happened. Sure, perfect. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. If no one saw it, I'm not guilty of anything. Exactly. Yeah, it's the allergy that makes you see things. Exactly. It's fine. It's completely fine. So, I do want to talk about what I learned on the workshop, right? The teacher was very nice. He gave us like a talk about character design using Indiana Jones as a prime example. The one time the podcast but what did I do? It was past me. It isn't present me. You can't hold me accountable for my past mistakes. By the way, we do have a new emote. I finished the shuriken one. Ta-da! What do y'all think? So anyways, thank you. So here's the thing that I learned about character design from the workshop. It was like a 6 hours workshop, I believe. Not spelled like sure you can. I'm literally shaking. You know what? I'm gonna have to rename the emote now. That's a really good idea, Super Fudge. That is a really good idea. Man, that's like a really wasted opportunity, right? Goddamn. I should do better. I need to do better. Oh my god, I'm gonna get like the little ukulele and do an apology video for not thinking of that. Like, geez, I need to do better. Like, goddamn. Gets better. Thank you, Momochi, but I don't have the flu anymore. Anyways. Thank God I don't have the flu anymore, by the way. Weather is crazy. What was I talking about? Right. The workshop. So basically the teacher was telling us about good character design and he used Indiana Jones as an example. And it was like... It was so funny. It was so funny because, like, he taught us some things that I kind of knew, but I didn't. And then other things I was like, this makes a lot of sense. And basically, he forced us to think about Indiana Jones. Like, what is Indiana Jones? When you think of Indiana Jones, what comes to your mind, you know? About the character. And it was interesting because, like, the first thing that everyone said is the hat and the whip. Exactly, Super Fudge. Exactly. Those are like his main trademarks. But there are more things that make Indiana Jones Indiana Jones. One of them is that he is always dirty. right? So he's kind of mud covered. If you look at his palette, he is always like a shade of brown. Get better, Kiba versus get better. Really, all depends on how you say it. That is true. So many tangents. I do a lot of tangents here, but I'm actually gonna to finish this topic because I actually want to talk about it. So the hat and whip are like the general ones, but there are more stuff. Can you guys think of anything else about him? I already gave you one, the color palette. When you think Indiana Jones, you think a guy who is wearing clothes that are usually brown, right? He usually has like the t-shirt that's kind of brownish. He has the leather jacket. He is rugged because he's Harrison Ford and her dirty and sweaty. Yes. He hates the snakes. He doesn't want to deal anything with those guys, you know, the ones. He's an archaeologist, all sorts of stuff. And he also has the alter ego persona that is like his professor self. Likes punching people, so he's got like the rugged hands and stuff like that. Yeah. And so we made a list with all these different things about Indiana Jones. And then he was like, okay, now let's take some things out of the list. Is it still Indiana Jones? And like, if you took the hat, but kept everything else, like in a scene, he loses his hat, he doesn't stop being Indiana Jones. He's still Indiana Jones, and you can still recognize him as Indiana Jones. Like, no problem. But then, he showed us something interesting. I think it was in his latest movie. There's a scene where Indiana Jones gets captured and is being interrogated by, I think it's the CIA. And the scene is basically Harrison Ford with a white t-shirt in a dark room. Oh yeah, he also said one thing that was very important that I never thought about it, but it makes complete sense. The background. Surprisingly enough, the backdrop is part of the character. So, if you see a guy in a brown t-shirt with a whip, and he happens to be in a temple, right? Running away from a big boulder, you're gonna be like, oh, that's Indiana Jones for sure. If you see other people running away from a giant boulder in a temple, you're gonna be like, hey, what are you doing? Are you copying Indiana Jones? You know? You're gonna think of Indiana Jones because of that. So the backdrop is also an important part. Now, in this this Indiana Jones movie that he was showing, Indiana Jones was being interrogated on with a white t-shirt by a bunch of men in black, essentially. And honestly, if he didn't say that this scene was from an Indiana Jones movie, no one would be able to tell it was Indiana Jones being interrogated. He had nothing out of his character. The only thing he had was Harrison Ford's face. That was it. That was the only thing he had for it that it would put him as Indiana Jones. And I thought that was fascinating. And what he's told us about that is that it's kind of like how your brain completes words. Like, if I write shuriken, you read shuriken. If I mess up and I write shuriken, you can kinda still read shuriken, right? You can kind of still understand shuriken. If I write shuriken, you can still kind of see shuriken, but you start to see less, right? If I write now you might read Shrek instead, right? And according to the teacher, this is exactly what goes in our brain when we're recognizing characters on the screen. We're recognizing characters in media, we're recognizing characters in movies. It's the exact same thing as this process. So, ideally, in order to make a character that both stands out and is recognizable, you need to add lots of elements to it. You need to add a good amount of elements to it. If you're just like... Isn't it? I thought it was fascinating. And interestingly enough, he even said that it's important to do that. From the perspective of fan art, it's also important. Like, say you have a character that has a lot of details, right? And someone draws your character badly. And maybe they forget one detail or two. Now, because you have a lot of details, even if one or two details are forgotten, it's still easy to recognize the character. And you can still recognize the character. That probably means the character design is strong. That means a strong character design. So those are the interesting things. So sometimes if you do like a overly simplistic design, you're at the risk of, let's say I make a Kirito-kun. I think Kirito-kuns are like the best example. Let's say I draw a Kirito-kun, right? So you got your nerdy gamer kid with black hair that has a trench coat and a sword, right? Now, and I want this Kirito-kun to be my OC, my one true character. So I give him like a really cool horns, right? I give him like the coolest horn ever. They like are very intricate. They're horns unlike any you've ever seen before. Right? Let's pretend I did that. Let's pretend I managed to do that successfully. I made a Kirito-kun that is horned. I made a horned Kirito-kun. Now, because the horns are the only thing that's distinguishing my Kirito-kun from every other Kirito-kun out there, right? If someone draws my character and forgets to draw the horn, if I draw my character and I forgot to draw the horns, right? Or if the situation that my character is in doesn't allow me to show the horns, you won't be able to tell it's my character. You might think it's Kirito. So that's kind of why you need to create. That's how you make unique. That's how you create uniqueness, though. You can't just settle for like one unique feature. You have to make several different features, and that's the way you can make your character stand out more, basically. So I thought that was fascinating. He also taught us like the process of character creation, there is like one really cool thing. There's this really cool exercise that you can do where basically the idea is you take a character's base and you start changing things about it. Like, you make a character, then you make a variation of the same character that's like fatter, one that is shorter, one that has a different facial hair, one that the eyes are like bulging out, one that has like a really big nose, one with like thick eyebrows and stuff like that. And you start remixing. And if you do that a lot, you can end up with a a much more distinct design from where you started. And we did that exercise. It was rather tiring, but I appreciated the result. It was very interesting. So that's kind of what I want to do today. I want to start here with Sume, and then change it around enough that it becomes a new character. So we're gonna start with like a base like pose here. We're not trying to do any poses yet. We're just gonna start with like a base. Right? And we are gonna review everything. That's interesting. Makes sense though. The idea makes me want to try some new things now. Yeah. It was really eye-opening, truly. God, there are so many pixel titties on my screen right now. Good thing you can see it. Anyways. Tsume character design work. Let's go. Because I remembered I actually tried, hold up, I can actually, this one I can show, no problem. I actually tried to rework Sume once, but because I had no direction of where I was going, I did this on stream once a long time ago. I ended up with a rather generic result. So it didn't really go much places. I do like this though. I do think it is maybe the ponytail is a good idea. For a second I thought that was a mustache. Yeah. No, it was a mask. It was a mask. But because we do need to work a few things around. I like Tsume's hair, but silhouette-wise it is terrible. It is terrible for silhouettes. So let's get started. Okay, first things first, basic body characteristics. Tsume has... Oh, interesting. That's not what I was... Ah, is it the pixel perfect active? No. Okay, good. Don't want the pixel perfect. Think. And here. Basis for the eyes. There we go. I like Tsume's yellow eyes. I don't want to change that. They're cat's eyes. Cat's eyes are usually yellow, you know. Hello, Misaki. Welcome to the stream. There we go. I do like to make her with a bigger forehead. and smaller chin. I think it makes for a cuter effect. So there are a few variations of how I can do the eyes. Can make it a little bit, not like this. Yeah, we can make it like a little bit wider. Like this. Yeah. She has like a sharper look. This is good. This is good. Gonna add some shadow here. Like this. Wide eyes, but very sharp. This is like a Wolverine Max. This is not good. This works. Might be a little bit too much. This is a little bit too much. For pixel art, it's best we keep it simple. We do want to add more, but we don't want to overindulge too much. There we go. Oh, interesting. Hold up. I really gotta be careful here. No. First one, please. Anyways. That was artistic new Twitch. That one doesn't count. So anyways, one of the things that bothers me a little bit about Sima's design is the ears. I thought I was making the ears very unique. Now that I look at it, all I see is Shy Lily's Shy Lily's ears. I was trying to be inspired by Chobits. Didn't quite work out very well. So regardless, we do want to add a few things to her design. So let me start with the ears and the hairstyle. Let's see. I think it should make the cat ears not be parallel. Like, it's not a bad design idea, it's good, but one thing that I realized over time was that Kiba doesn't have ears like that. Honestly, neither does Tofu, the Foxy I have. And literally anyone else I might make that has animal ears, so I couldn't really find a proper justification for this difference. Why does she have the ears like that and no one else does? Is it a Nekomata only thing? It didn't make a whole lot of sense, and it didn't make her design more unique. Didn't feel like any narrative purpose. So at the end of the day, there's no reason for her ears to be like this. And honestly, it's kind of hard to draw the ears like that. So I want to try to make something a little bit different. So what I was thinking is to have the ears like this. You know what I mean? Instead of going for the ears full on, maybe put them on the side here. Or even... Let's see. I want the ears to still be a little floppy because I think that fits her. But not quite as much. So maybe something along these lines. Of course the ears are gonna be huge like this. Do I like this? I think they might be a little bit too big, right? She's kind of looking like a Phoenix Fox. Let's see. How much can I lower this? Today is experimentation day, basically. But yeah, I was fascinated by the talk. It was really cool. And honestly, the Indiana Jones speech was so interesting. Like, one thing he said is that in a reductive fashion, a character is just a hat. At the end of the day, you know which character is which because of the hat they are wearing. And he went on to talk about how extremely true that is if you're making media for children. For young children. Because he showed like some old Disney works, right? That showed how in Aladdin, every character had a specific geometric shape attached to them. None of the characters, if they're put together, had the same shape. The shapes were all distinct to make absolutely sure that the little child would never get confused by which character is which. And I thought that was fascinating. That's like... that's stuff that you don't think, but I bet if you... but I bet that you notice. You notice on a subconscious level, you know what I mean? This usually happens a lot when you're used to a certain standard of production. And then you, like, watch something that doesn't feel that standard and you just, like, feel weird and you feel like you didn't really like that much, but you can't quite put a reason why you didn't. Know what I mean? Whenever that happens, it's that attention to care that hasn't been put in the movie. Because it was an armature, the work was more or less armature-ish, or the person in charge just didn't kneel. Okay, I want... of course, probably doing character design with pixel art might be a little bit different. Might be a little bit different because we have access to less design space. But I don't know. What do you guys think of this? The ears like this. Does it look cute? I think it looks a little bit better than the design that I currently have, because the area of the head, I feel like it's being occupied better, and that's, if you know what I mean. We could like add maybe something here to the side, maybe like a hair ornament or something here to fill out the lost weight here. Would probably be good. We could even give her short hair. Short hair could work too. You know? Kinda like it. Like, I did this design so long ago. I don't really have to keep it locked in forever, you know? Na, 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 na. As far as character designs goes, I sort of bias it towards long hair. I really like long hair. But as an animator, long hair is such a pain in the ass. It is such a pain in the ass to animate. And you know what the worst part is? I've been warned about this before. Hello Medina, how are you doing? I am trying to use what I have learned in character creation, in the character creation workshop to redesign Tsume. Hope you're doing good today. Doing good, thank you. Also, she looks cute as fuck and hope you're also doing well. Ah, thank you. I'm doing good, I'm doing good. I am taking in information into my noggin. I'm glad, I'm glad. I love sharing stuff, you know? I got to learn new stuff and I am glad to share it with you all. Is she too thin? Yeah, let's add a little bit more. Oopsie, just realized. Yeah. Have you ever thought of becoming a teacher? Yes. Actually, right as COVID was about to start, I was trying to come up with my own method for teaching English. I was going to do private classes, because a lot of people need those here in Brazil. So I was looking into that, and then COVID hits. So I didn't. Though honestly, I'll be real, the teaching space in Brazil is kinda terrible. So in the timeline, could have become a teacher and not a Vito Bird. Yes. Yes. I had... Let's just say my timeline was very open. I think you would have been a good teacher. Ah, thank you. Also amazing to hear you can use what you learned. Yeah. It's all about trying to... I really want to implement it as soon as possible. while it's still fresh in my mind, you know? Let's see here. Now let me think. What else can we add? I don't necessarily want long hair again, because, like I said, kind of a pain to animate, but also the whole ninja concept, it's kind of counterintuitive with like the really long hair. Because, you know, hair getting caught in stuff, things like that could not be very good. So maybe a shorter hair or a ponytail. I have kind of a fixation with ponytails, you know? I kind of love them. 2 bits. Hold up. Let me do that in a different layer, so we can try out new things. They are very true. Ponytail much confirmed? Maybe. She is working on a bunch of like alternate hairstyles and stuff like that. I don't remember if she did a ponytail though. It would be kind of funny to make a ponytail that follows a similar pattern to my ponytail, but hers is like a cat's tail. So it would be thinner. That could be a thing. And like I learned, the more extra elements you add to the character design, the better it becomes, in theory. Well, obviously there's gotta be a point where it becomes too much. So moderation should still be applied. Oh god, I just saw a YouTube recommendation. Terribly plays Doki Doki Literature Cup. Oh, I saw that one! I saw that one too. Yeah, apparently there's this YouTuber that's a therapist, and they're making them play games about depression. Apparently his first playthrough was Amori. He played Amori, just like Mamochi. Sounds like a good old time. Okay, so this is an idea. Not sure how good of an idea it is. This coalition is a good one for therapists to play. I think at one point even Dr. K played this coalition, but he never got too far. I never got too far playing this coalition either. Ooh, hold up. Hold up. Can I like make... like a short frizzy hair? Can I do that with sprite art? She looks a little bit, interestingly enough, with the hair like this, she looks a little bit more cat lady-like, doesn't she? Hold up. That's a venue we can explore. Oh, chat, by the way, today I went to the mall. My mom wanted to go there so she could look at some electronics and stuff, and she was going with Momochi. So they invited me. This is why I started 1 hour later than what I usually start the stream today, basically. And I realized something while I was there. My degree of introversion has gotten so much worse. So much worse. Like, I'm kind of an introvert, right? If I go outside the house, my energy gets drained for whatever reason. I can only recover at home. And my god, I was so sleepy. So sleepy. Just because I got out of the house. Oh my god, this is kinda cute. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here in the back. But this is pretty cute. What do you guys think? With this one, it kind of has the cat theme. It is meant to look like a cat tail, this one. It was on purpose. Both is too much, I can tell that much. What do you think about this one? This one looks kind of cute, right? For like a more freezy back, short. It doesn't, it's not a bad silhouette either, I don't think. I don't think I want the ponytail. I think this is our lock-in. Maybe I can make her hair in the front a little bit freeze it up too. Let's see. Right here. Na 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 Okay, I see you. I see you. I don't know if I want to keep the cat mouth or not. I want a regular one. I think I want a cat mouth. Cat out of 10 with a head pet and gently scratch. Ah, thank you, Medina. Okay, so I think I dig this. I think I dig this hair. Let me test something. It's very well. Ah, thank you. Does this add much? No. I think we keep it like this then. Honestly, like this, it gives her a little, like the feeling that she cuts her hair on her own with maybe like a ninja toe or something like that. Instead of like having a really long, well-kept hair that's impractical and sort of impossible to do on the road. So this is also the important thing. If you are doing character design, one very important thing is ask yourself, does your character design tell a story? Right? I feel like this was something that when we were making Kiba, I made sure to try to include at least elements, because I didn't attend to any workshop or anything like that, but there was this one dude who did League of Legends analysis, for character design analysis. And he said some stuff at the time that resonated with me, that honestly is still after what I saw from the workshop, it's still correct, it's still valid. Basically, it's the idea that character design is about telling a story. So you want to include elements in your character design that will tell a story about your character. If your character, if you want to give the impression that your character is like, say, a drifter of some kind, right? You want your character, you want that image for your character. You can't have like a drifter that is like has extremely well-kept clothes and servants, unless that's also part of the story. Like he is actually a high-profile noble traveling undercover and he's really bad at it, you know? So that's kind of the beauty of it, by the way. That's the beauty of it. If you, even things that may seem like inconsistencies, if you think about it enough, you can turn it around and make it intentional and make it part of the story for the character. You can flip stuff on its head and be smart instead of dumb before choosing that things, basically. But that is like a tangent. That is like a tangent. But yeah, so with Kiba, I try to do this. It's one thing that stuck is my scar. In the OG model and the HD model, there are also more scars around the body. And the reason why I chose to have scars, because at the end of the day, when you're making a character, you are choosing these elements to be part of you, I chose to have scars to show that one, I'm not invincible, right? Scars shows that you fought and you got hit, essentially. If you're like, I'm a character that's high combat, high octane combative character, stuff like that, but you're like completely smooth. Either you're like a part of like a idealized otome gacha, right? You got perfect skin because of fan service reasons. Or you could use that to your advantage and try to create a story where you're actually a bullshitter, right? I remember... So, this was from the original Senseiya manga. Senseiya is like a really, really old manga from like the... I want to say 70s, 80s? Or there's a story like Whitebeard from One Piece. Exactly, exactly. Maybe you have a bunch of different scars and some of them have special significance. And you're already telling part of the story, right? Just from looking at the character, you already know. This character has been into some dire shit, and he hasn't left it unscathed. How many mangas do you have? We have a shitload of stuff in our house. We don't buy nearly enough as I used to back in the day because they all got too expensive. Like, Jesus freaking Christ, why is manga so expensive nowadays? I wanna cry. If I could, I would be buying like every single manga that comes out. I would buy every single manga that comes out because I read them so fast. Manga is like 12 bucks per book. Yeah. Here in Brazil it's 40 BRL. Technically it's like $8, but you know, the only amount of money I gain in dollar is the money you guys give me, either through subs or commissions or Patreon, which I am sorry, I have kind of abandoned. I need to update the Patreon more. I actually have stuff to show you. I did a bunch of commissions, but I've been so focused on finishing the commissions that I haven't like done proper posts showing them. How many burgers is that? Hold up, let me check. Can we convert in Big Mac ratio? The Big Mac is kind of one of the easier ones. Let's see, Big Mac preço. So Big Mac goes for 20. Let me see how much. McDonald's.com.br. Why doesn't it show? It wants me to it wants me to ask for delivery before showing me the price. Come on. Come on. Come on, McDonald's, do better. Do better. It's... Wait, there's a Big Mac ratio? Oh my god. Anyways, it's somewhere between 24 and 27 reals. It varies according if like they're doing like a special sales or something like that. Okay, so booba size is technically part of the character design if you stop to think about it. I don't think I want Sume to be petanco. So we are gonna go with normal size boobies, at least for my style. Which admittedly, I do have a tendency to draw them a little bit big. What do you think, chat? Is this good or bigger? I could increase 1 or 2 pixels, honestly. Could increase 1 or 2 pixels. Too upset I don't get to try Shadow Mac Mouth. It's so good. It's so good, Camel God. On the bright side, though, you don't want to eat too many. It is one of those situations where, like, you should have it in moderation. MO, I live like that. The lore could be that she has bazonkas, but binds them to be a better Nisha. That's true. That's true. And the unbound version can be found on my Patreon. Join now. How about this? I think this is a fair size. Then Medina, you're all outgunned here. Momochi says bigger. Hold up. Tomate. My hopes and dreams are actually inside Momochi's booba, so of course they are huge. You know, it's you guys are making me want to buy McDonald's, but we already had McDonald's for the month. We tried to keep fast food as a once a month thing. We don't do a very good job at it. It's kind of like, okay, only once a month we'll get McDonald's, only once a month we'll get pastel, so it kind of... we take it twice a month, like once a month McDonald's, once a month pastel, but still. Okay. How's this? Bigger. Momochi says bigger. Momochi, you might start giving her back problems at this rate. Hold up. However, part of character design is exploration, so... let's see... How's it? They got oranges, Medina. They got oranges. Remember? Oh god. Okay, I think this is getting to be a little bit silly. Okay, now I know Momich is trolling me. Now I freaking know Momich is trolling. You know what? You know what? Here. Just gonna keep it going like it is until the entire image is a poopa. Yeah, she is absolutely trolling me. You know what? This is what Momochi wants. If I keep listening to Momochi, this is where we arrive. This is where we arrive if we keep listening to Momochi. All the back pains. All the back pains. This is what will happen if we keep listening to Momochi. F to her back indeed. Like, I have done commissions of characters who are like this before, but I'll be real. I want a design that can fight without it looking like a really bad ecchi anime. God, there was this ecchi anime that was so bad. So bad. Hold up. Let's go back like 2 sizes. There we go. This is fine. This is fine. Funnily enough, someone in another class in my school got boobs as big as her head in like 5th grade. She had horrible back pain. I saw her was 20. She got a reduction. Makes sense, makes sense, makes sense. Like, I know big booba is like very coveted, but it's kind of like height for men where people don't really talk about the downsides. They're mostly back related, you know? Everyone like just gets greedy about it. Yeah, they do. That is true. Everything above a D and MO is a lot to do with. It is, it is. Like, I got absolutely nothing against drawings of big boobs. I like them very much. But the way I look at them, I look at them as more of like, how do I put it? A sensory facilitator, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, there are certain things that you exaggerate in fiction and stuff like this, more for the sake of conveying an idea. Also, I think if I add the line, I'm gonna be entering dangerous territory. So we're gonna stop here. Rather than transmitting it literally, you know? Like, anime girl with huge, humongous boing boings. If I see that image, instead of like thinking, oh my god, I want real people to have breasts this big, what I think about is softness. The drawing gives me a sense of softness. I don't know if that's just me, right? If I'm the weird one. But that's how I see it. Makes sense even though it sounds weird. Yeah. Like, you're not gonna get you're normally not gonna find a real person with booba as big as a bunch of anime girls have, but it does communicate the feeling of the softness. Can I do this? Let's keep it like this for now. I got the new hot sauce in West Indian from the tent store. Them is fucking, now it's too hot. Ah. But I can relate the drawing to the soft experience. That's basically what I'm saying. If that makes any sense. Something you can counter abstractions with experience. Basically. If anime girl has real hairstyles, she immediately has Ojo-sama vibes. That is true. Got a new hot sauce, West Indian from the authentic store. It's yummy as fuck and not too hot. That's good. Ow. Hey cutie kitty, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good. We're playing with character design today. How are you? I am reimagining an old OC. We're reimagining Tsume. Because I went to a character design workshop, and that means I wanna keep... Oh! You're alive? That's good to hear. Okay, guys. Momochi has just warned me that... Ow. Hey, Retros! How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. I am redesigning an OC today. Doing good. How's Yukiba? I'm doing good too. What did Momochi said? That she brought me something to eat. And now we're doing this thing where we actually stop streaming for a little bit to eat when it's time to eat. Because... Did you know you got gas? If you talk while eating? Pausing stream because of that one rule. Yeah. It's real quick though. I'll be right back. BRB everyone. Just one sec. Gonna run the 3-minute break ad so we don't get ads in the middle of stream, okay? we're back. Did you all miss me? Heck yeah. Momochi made salty pie again. So I have leftovers just now. Let's see. I ate about 6 hours ago. Oh no, retro, but you ate something yummy, so it's good. Oh, lamb. I don't think I ever eaten lamb. I never eaten lamb. I never eaten rabbit. This is gonna sound stupid, but I do feel bad about eating bunnies. Even though I'm a wolf, I do feel bad about eating bunnies. Bunnies and rabbits are different? Oh, they are. Huh. Momochi had rabbit once, though. Momochi is like, is it food? Gimme. Which is also fair. Which is also fair. Oh. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, I think we have the bases. Let's start... Oh, right, the tail. I'm kind of thinking if I want to keep the tail the way they are. These sort of noodly tails. That kind of remind me a little bit of Mewtwo. You know that one time where you get bored so you make something random? Ah. I like her 10 lines are chef kiss. Oddly enough, I only used this color to separate, but I might keep 10 lines, you know? Because honestly, it kind of makes sense for her to have 10 lines. She's like a ninja, a survivor ninja. You know what? You know what? This was accidental. I'm keeping this. I'm keeping this. You know what? We're keeping it. We're keeping this. I made something that vibrates to massage my neck. Very nice since my neck bones isn't aligned. Purring cattle over your neck. Aw, kitties are cute. Okay. So this is the part... Right. Sorry. Tail first. Tail first. So let's try a different kind of tail. Let's try a different kind of tail. Maybe we could make the tail fluffier. I remember the reason why I made the tail the way it was. It's more like a softer filler that she bumps the place in the side and rotates while vibrating as well to do the job. Ooh. What looks a bit sus? The tail? Should I dress her up first? Why is the or is it the tail? What is sus? What is sus? Okay, let's dress her up first. Okay, okay. Ah, plug tail. Okay, sure, sure, sure. Man, that would be really sus considering she's gonna have two of them, but anyways. Oops. It looks fine. Maybe that's just my average Shatter's mind. Momochi corrupted us for real, for real. You know what's the worst part? Momochi isn't really that isn't even that perverted. She just likes to mess with people. Save us, Kiba Sensei. The dark side of art versus the light side. I have a feeling she enjoys knowing without personally engaging. Yeah, yeah, that is probably the most correct way to put it. Like, she has a beautiful, beautiful mind that works in very mysterious ways. Anyone who's been through her chat probably realized that. Has probably already figured that out. I've been through it in 20 years. But like, she didn't know what a glory hole was. She was making jokes about it without knowing what it was. Glory hole. Don't worry about it, Retros. Don't worry about it. Anyways, moving on. Moving on. I have a relatively interesting... Moving on, moving on. Now how do we do this? Well, like this. Oh, just take it, Sitsuki isn't saying it. There we are. Some knowledge is better left there. Some knowledge is better left there. Let's see. Too much. Too much. I think we can do it like that. Innocent Retro is so cute. So like, my point is that half the time Momochi might be saying something that sounds lewd, but there is a 50% chance she actually has no idea what she's talking about. But she saw a reaction and she's gonna poke at it. She saw a reaction, that's what matters. She's gonna poke at it. There we go. Yeah, she is chaotic. She is chaos. And she always finds a way to surprise me, honestly. Okay, so now I can make the cleavage. Now we're good for the cleavage, right, Twitch? Right. There we go. Chaos Unison, Momo Chaos. That is her. That is her. Very nice, very nice. So now here we have to think. We actually have room to add something in this area. You know? Moon Michi would be at Sinchin joined for the Kiba, Sister of Battle. Yeah, no, she has already identified with Sisters of Battle. She is playing Argenta in her playthrough. Could have like a... maybe like a moon mark here could be cool. Maybe... Hashtag gay for Argenta. Man. Yeah, is that the color of the Retro's flag? But what if the operators wanted us to hold hands and kiss? Oh well. You know, what do you guys think? Could this be a thing? This could be a thing. Context of the character? Nekomata Ninja. Nekomata Ninja, she is technically Kiba's master. In other words, she would be the one who trained me in how to be a ninja. She is very sneaky. She's very clever. And let me see. And I do like to put like some moon themes around her. But her main talent... yeah, Mooncrest sound good. Yeah, like in the original I had this moon hairband here. Alright, Medina, have a good one. But it always felt a little bit like... too much, you know? Yeah, Mooncrest could work. I'm gonna add it as a layer though, so I can change it if I feel like it's not really working. Maybe a tinier one. Something like this could be good. Could be good. I'm kind of wondering if I can make the hair a little bit higher, if I should. Nah, I think it's high enough. I like making hair puffy, but if I feel like if I make it too puffy, it could be bad. Let me test though. Let me test though. It looks good already. It does. Yeah, no, this is fine as it is. This is fine as it is. It's just that sometimes I get the ideas in my head, so I gotta test them out to make sure. Okay, so we got the kimono. I don't dislike how this kimono is working, but I always felt like I could do more with the outfit in general. You know what I mean? So we do this. Time to try to dress her up. Wait. Ah, wrong layer. Fine. Fine. I'll put you in the right layer. Just wait and see. There you go. There we go. Ah, shit, great, my Wi-Fi is acting up suddenly, hold on. Oh no, good luck, Retros, good luck. Wi-Fi connection's a pain, isn't it? I know the feeling. Really, really do. It sucks. Okay, so we're gonna start with the outfit where I left off, where I made her, and then we're gonna start trying variants. Because that's part of the process of the character creation. You start with a base design, then you start altering it, then you start changing details, adding new stuff, changing old stuff, and we'll see where we leave. More or less like this. I made her skirt very, very short. I believe this was inspired by Mai Shiranui. Kinda like get female ninja board. Most of them have stuff like this. Speaking of which, maybe I can get some reference on that. Let me see. Damn. Maybe Shinobi Nobunaga I can find. Okay, so here's like an absurdly basic ninja. Let's start with an absurdly basic ninja design for the bases. By the way, this anime rules. This anime freaking rules. We get a more heavily stylized female ninja design. Let's see. Let me get some extra inspirations. Saifong is, I think it's also a good one. Some different designs. We can get... I don't know what's with the butt cleavage here though. I remember how much you wanted to add that to my male character. Man, I wonder how much... how different life would have been if I went through with this. I wonder how different life would have been if I went through with that. Yeah, let me think. Let's just type Kuno Ichi and see what we get. We got some random Naruto shit. It's not too inspiring. Yeah, it's not too inspiring, honestly. Oh god. We got the Disgaea Kunoichi. She is very much a fusion of all the elements that I found, which is an interesting take on its own. Yeah, but when you see this say potato, I saw it and I said potato. Okay, this is kind of interesting though. I found the Disgaea Kunoichi. Right? And look at the design pieces. You got we got scarves, we got bandages, we got impossible cleavage opened up. You got the butt thing, like base. The base is here changed, right? You got this base. You got the cleavage from her. It's like these are 3 other images that I found combined. Curious, isn't it? Also, we learned that Kunoichis don't wear proper pants. We learned that Kunoichis don't wear proper pants. Although, you guys wanna hear something interesting about Kunoichis? The word Kunoichi only means woman. It doesn't mean anything else. It was a code word for woman because apparently if you separated the kanji for woman, it would spell out different kanjis for numbers, and ku no ichi are like the different numbers that compose the breakdown kanji. So in ninja documents, when they're talking kunoichi, they're not specifying like female agent, they're just talking about women in general. So kunoichi is not necessarily a special term for female ninja ops operative, right? It's also technically not really a fantasy class either. It just means women. Ah, I turned it wolf. Retros, wanna see my Halloween costume? There you go. Whoop. Careful. Sometimes I feel like Lila is secretly plotting to trip us over. She's always so close. Lo, you are extremely artistic and morbidly a beast. Hello, Maximum Sharpie, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Reminds me of Strawberry Crab Cookie Yogurt Phantom costume. This is from Telepo from Limbus Company. This was added to my model by Lunatic's Idea, who was my rigger. And art made by Momochi. Doing pretty good, our anniversary today. Oh, congratulations! Happy anniversary! Okay, so this is what I did the first time around. The first time around, I had made these metal thingies, right? Which I honestly don't hate, and I don't even think I want to take them out, really. From the design, I kinda like them. Wait, wrong emote. Ah, that is cute. Let's see here. Here we go. There we go. So the reason I did that was no reason in particular, I just wanted to make it more interesting. Which I honestly think is a very valid decision to do some things. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. And I wanted to add a chainmail effect to this. We get like this. You cannot art? Aww. Honestly, it is a matter of having the patience to, one, look for an art medium. I think that's very important. Because sometimes you can't like draw traditionally, or you cannot draw to a satisfying degree. But maybe sometimes you're good at something else. Like, personally, I'm someone who considers myself unable to draw. I'm someone who considers myself unable to draw. I can draw to some degree, but I never been truly satisfied with the lines I made. And then I found pixel art, and I found it more comfortable for me. Because it's more clicking and you don't need to have as steady of a hand and stuff like that. I can sit straight at 16 hours straight, no problem. Cannot draw a straight line though. Yeah, drawing a straight line is very hard. Drawing a straight line is very hard. It is the most frustrating part of drawing is that first day of art class, I'm taking art classes now. Because I figured I could use like the basics to complement what I've been teaching myself with pixel art. First day of art class is literally learning how to draw oval shapes. And honestly, it's like straight up an exercise where you just sit down and you do nothing but fill your paper with oval shapes. Over and over and over, each time trying to draw it a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, because the oval shapes will be the basis of your ability to draw. Like everything you draw can be broken down into like oval shapes and squares and circles and triangles. And practicing and like just practicing to do that, over and over and over and over actually improves your ability to draw. You don't need talent to learn how to draw, you just need the patience to do the really boring stuff until you're actually good enough to draw. Because like, you could have an easier time doing this, and you're not gonna have to do it as much, but as long as you have the patience to do it as much as it takes for you to get better, it works. Oh my god. Interesting, we got another programmer on the house. That is cool, that is cool. I just realized it. Ah. That is so cool. I cannot for the life of me program. You know? I cannot code. I cannot code. I'm having hard enough of a time doing anything on RPG Maker, which is like, let's be real, it's baby stuff. I know it's baby stuff. It's baby stuff. The most programming I have ever done was, I don't know if you've ever seen, it's a program called Click and Create. It's like a very old version of Game Maker. I used to privately do fan games in that, but that's about it. Oh, dude, I love RPG Makers. Allow you to get into game making with a comfortable setting. Yes! Yes, and it's still uncomfortable for me. But like, mad props, mad respect, you know? If it's not prying too much, you said you're a game developer? Are you working on a game right now? Are you working on anything right now? MV. Did you see the new update? There's like a new version of RPG Maker, but I look at it and I couldn't figure out for the life of me if it was worth it. It didn't seem like they changed it a lot. Just upgraded MV. Ah, I see, I see. I noticed that the RPG Maker is kind of like weird in that they do new stuff, but it's not always worth it buying it. I remember there was like for a long while, I think RPG Maker 2005 was actually better than a lot of other RPG Maker versions because it was the only one that allowed for side combat. Side view combat. Because like, I messed around with RPG Maker a lot. I never finished anything. Yeah, that one, that one. Because they did the side-scroller thing once, and then they went back with the first-person view. I actually used it to K 3 enemy battlers. Oh yeah, they have some good ones. Yeah, they're kind of blah. I can make my own battlers, and they almost work functionally. I mean, they do work functionally, but like it has been forever since I tried doing it. But like for real, hold up. Let me show. These have been done like a long ass time ago. But like I did this. They kind of work. I'm trying to make my game popular enough that the patron can pull money so I can pay on the artist to replace the placeholder images. Ah, honestly, this is probably why I never finished my game. Thank you. Because I started doing the art for the game first. And then it took too long. I got better at the art part. And then I looked at my own game that I was working on and I started feeling like, yeah, but like the art isn't that good anymore. It doesn't really show. Because the idea was a little bit to use the game as sort of like promotional material. Originally, my point for making the game was like interactable lore piece. Because the thing with VTubers is that we have lore. Some people will make like a video with animations. And it was suggested to me that since I'm a pixel artist, I could make a game instead. Which was a sound idea. It was supposed to be like a little... like just like a short silly thing. But then I didn't want to do just a short silly thing anymore, and then I started making it more complicated for myself. You know how that goes. So I got carried away. So anyways, I got carried away. And it became a whole lot more than that. Well, yeah, I know for sure my wife had to reel me back in so many times in our main game. Yeah, it just happens. It just happens. You're like, but I am doing this already. I might as well add this. I might as well add that. You know what I mean? I'm seriously thinking about because like I've been thinking about remaking everything using the old artist placeholder and just trying to make the game that I want to make, tell the story that I want to tell, stuff like that. But I kind of want to have a lot of free time to do that. If I tried doing it in between commission work. I start, I do some of it, I write some stuff, then I'm like, but this could have been better, or sometimes I forget stuff, and then I start, maybe I need to redo that. It's awful. It's awful. I keep trapping myself in like everything that you shouldn't do. Anyways, I gotta hop off here, but see you around. Alright, Retros, have a good one. Have a great one. Bye-bye. Let me see here. And now, technically, I am redesigning the character for my game. So that's another thing. But like, I went to a character design workshop and I want to make use of that. I want to make use of that to make the character better. Thankfully, I do think, obviously, you can always improve. But I do think at least my base VTuber model really is well designed. To the point where like I don't need to do anything radical for it. I can keep using it, and maybe when we get the money to do like a 3.0, we can revisit some of the designs and see where we go from there, stuff like that. But yeah. Okay. So this, we reached the point where we reached like 90% of the character design that I've already had for her. And now it's time for us to think, how do I improve this further? Because this is a very simple version. We just have like some basic gauntlets here. Her weapons of choice are like very huge claws that I didn't include on this base sprite because it's like meant to be like a tiny sprite also. So if it worked like a platformer or something like that, she would just take the claws out when she attacked and they wouldn't be there. It's sorta stylistic. Sorta. What style? Lazy style, but that's neither here nor there. Here we go. Here we go. We need to add some more 3D to this. Yeah, so this is our starting point, I guess. For the design. I'm not actually gonna do the feet wraps just yet. I do want... I see. That's actually nicer. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Here we are. Okay, so let me think. How do I make the design busier? Well, if we can take some examples from this, there are a few ways. One of them, if we can take from the design of Shinobu, would be... She has like a little short. That's a thing. There's this weird pant skirt thingus. Something we can use. We can just be then Legos. In this case, she's using like a tassel with things on the back. It is interesting. I wanna try something with the cattail. There was one very interesting thing that was taught me during the classes, right? Which was that apparently S shapes are more pleasant to look at. So if you can make something, if you can add like S shapes to your design, it makes them softer. Curious, isn't it? Now, in pixel art, that's gonna be a little tricky. That will definitely be a little tricky, right? But not impossible. I do wonder how much I can use out of that. While still maintaining some level of fur for the tail. Kinda wanted to try a more thicker tail. I don't know. The problem is looking like a dinosaur's tail instead, you know what I mean? I don't know if this... looks more reptilian. The main issue is that her hair color is green, so her tail color is green. So it kinda looks reptilian. Right. So that is definitely an issue for the tail. The tail also should be easy enough to draw and animate. That's also a thing. One character that I am reminded of from this is Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog. Cause they're a kitsune. So they do have 2 tails because they're a young kitsune. There is a possibility of Tails having 9 tails at one point, and I think they even played around with that idea in the Netflix series, where there's a dimension where Tails is just Doc Ock, and he has 9 mechanic tails, and he calls himself 9, and he's a Nemo boy. Because he got bullied a lot since Sonic wasn't there. So he got bullied for being a weirdo. And he became tough and rugged. And no nonsense. God, the Sonic Prime is a show. Sonic Prime is a show of all time. Honestly though, it was kinda interesting. I just thought that they went a little bit too hard on the Kingdom Hearts vibes with it. But it was alright. They nerfed Rouge though. So that automatically has to lose points with the player base. I don't think the fanbase was too happy with Rouge's redesign. If I recall correctly. Lots of homoerotic energy between Sonic and Shadow though. Way too many. If I recall correctly, the finale of that show was Shadow Princess carrying Sonic. After Sonic sacrificed his own energy for like a coup d'etat against Eggman in the alternate dimensions. It was special. It was very special. I could hear the fangirls going wild, and there weren't even any around me. But I could hear them. It was funny. Honestly, more power to the shippers, I guess. Wow, chat, who's your favorite Sonic ship? Mine is the Armada. And the Egg Carrier 2.0. Get it? Sonic ships. They're all Eggmans, really. I think 95% of all ships in the Sonic series were made by Eggman. It actually reminds me, I had the honor of reading a webcomic where the 8-10 Warthogs pre Sonic. Nice. I remember having the honor of reading a webcomic where the author shipped herself with Eggman. And her avatar was like a grayish Tails. With like, you know those really tacky 90s trench coats from Matrix? Yeah, from the Matrix. That was the webcomic. The webcomic was her hanging out with Eggman doing stuff. It was kind of sweet, actually. These details are nice and all, but do I really want to do this to myself when I'm animating? I mean, the second I made it furry, though, I made the tail more furry. Kinda doomed myself to it. So, huzzah! Okay, let's add texture. So, more or less textures for that. Not liking this texture though. We can do something more simple. Like straight up just drawing the fur a little bit here and there and calling it a day. Doesn't feel right though, I don't know. Do I want to keep the tail like this? Well, good or bad, it does look a little bit more like a cat tail. Let me see something. Hold up. Cattail references. Cattail. Oh yeah, I think, yeah, the... You know what? This kind of tail makes it a little bit more confusing if she is a cat or a fox. We need to characterize a cat. We need to characterize a cat as much as possible, especially a Nekomata. Because Nekomatas are gonna have two tails, so if we do the tail slightly fluffy, there is such a huge chance it's gonna be confused with a fox. The multiple tails, the settings, it's like the thing that was said to me in the workshop. The scenery is also part of the character. So like, she is from a scenery where foxes might have multiple tails. Which means, if I don't make it clear what kind of tail it is, the chances of confusion are as high as possible. They are, as the meme says, too damn high. Too damn high. Okay, so We tried something different. We circled back around into this type of tail. But we came out of it knowing that it was the best type of tail. For this endeavor. Now here is something. Here is something. I usually put both tails on the same side. What if different though? Does it look too much like tentacles? It makes for an interesting silhouette. Also, let's see the silhouette test right now. Let me do the silhouette test real quick. Shote mate. It's not that bad of a silhouette. Could be better though. Let me test. So instead of this, another thing they talked about was oh, that's interesting. I kinda like this. Hold up. Let me do adjustments. Let me do adjustments. I kinda like this, the tails being a little bit mushed with each other. In the display like this. That could be a thing, but I don't know. Is it a thing though? Do I want it to be a thing though? It makes it a little bit easier to draw. Do this. Okay, let's draw details on the tail. Let's see. I don't think I want the tails to be too thick. But I don't want them to be too scrawly either. It's a matter of balance. It's a matter of balance. So like this. There we go. About the same thickness. Okay. We want to do this, I believe, too. And then this. Like this and this and this. And this. And this. There we go. Now it doesn't look too noodly. Noodly canoodly. The arms are completely in the way of this though. Okay, so more shadows. Increase the shadows. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. But I do want to have like more differentiation, right, between current design and new design instead of just having a hairstyle. But I do think at the end of the day, the tail is probably like one of the stronger aspects. We don't have to change it too much. One thing I could do is add maybe like a little white tip to it. But I don't know how much value that adds. Don't think it adds that much value to the overall design. Maybe I'll save it for later. If the design needs like a little extra oomph, then maybe. We can revisit it. Okay, so we got like the core bases, we have this marking, this tattoo-esque marking. Let's work on that marking for a little bit actually. Oh, interesting. This is the marking. Let me take out that extra little step. Okay, so we're gonna make use of the blur tool here. Blur tool makes us intermediate color. We can theoretically use. Wow, that's awful. No, that doesn't work that well. But maybe. Ah, right. Maybe like this. Okay, so I can in theory use that. Then the advantage of doing this is supposed to create like a intermediary step between to give it more of a feeling of a tattoo. In practice, I made it kinda blurry, so I don't think it's a very good intermediate color. We could make the whole tattoo in this color. Kinda. I'm still working on trying to figure out a way to make tattoos as differentiated from regular stuff. Okay, let's go back to the Clotus. I think we could add... I don't know if we need a shoulder pad here, but we could definitely add like a little something extra on the shoulders. I feel like the naked shoulders are too simple. Definitely too simple. Like, Mai has the rope thing. Soifon doesn't have anything, but she has like some extra stuff going on. Her design's very basic, actually. Got like a little... this little flourish thing, I think we could do something like that. Like, since we're going for a little bit more of a rugged feel with Sume, maybe like some ripped sleeves. Ripped sleeves are cool. It has ripped sleeves on our design, you know? They're neat. I don't like those. You know? Could make a bigger one here. Oh no, look at that! That's kinda neat. We also have maybe a hole here. Oh, you could actually do something here. Interesting. Interesting. How about... that's kinda neat. Maybe we could add like a little bit of ruggedness here too. What if full ruggedness? What if we go the full ruggedness route? One important thing about the character concept of Tsume. Tsume is an agile fighter. She is not necessarily... she is strong, but she's not a brute force user. Her main combat skills revolve around dodging and countering. She is extremely annoying to fight against. And her, I guess one way to put her concept, she's kind of like a ninja version of a witcher. Because she's a yokai and she tries to maintain some semblance of order between human world and yokai world. Investigating berserking yokais, maybe figuring out if it's the yokai is at fault or if the humans are at fault, you know, that kind of stuff. Figuring out if there's like some sort of imbalance. That's her stick. That's her main stick. That's her main stick. When she's not snooping around as a ninja, that's what she does. That's what she does. Go. The man who had too many children, Laguna Loira. Here we are. There we go. Okay, so that's the thing we can do. We could pick one of the sides to have like something on here. Maybe like a symbol. Technically I already put the symbol on her chest though. Yeah, this would definitely be excessive. And also look a little bit sus. Yeah, this is definitely a little bit too much, I think. Imagine. Double moons! I don't think this is a good design. Really don't. But it does feel like something should be happening around here. I don't know. I don't know. For this. Oh, you know what could be cool? I think I'm gonna take a page out of this kunoichi with the armband. Maybe we could do like some bands. We did have the bands on her feet. Maybe I can make like some... We can make like band pants. You know? Because her legs are very important to her. As an agility-based character. So she should have some sort of support for her legs, but at the same time, it should be light. So keeping her entire legs rapid kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense, you know? Can be a thing. We could try. Right? This is very much... No, I can't just do this and then I have to do half the work. Look at that. Efficiency. Sweet, sweet efficiency. So we can have these. Does it lightly look like she is wearing striped leggings? Yes. Is this intentional? Not really. Could it be considered a plus? Maybe. Depends on your taste, really. I also don't expect this first attempt to be perfect by any means. I really have just sat through a, what, 5-hour lecture? I'm not gonna be able to do things perfectly. But what I am trying to do is put into practice as much as what I learned from it, so, you know, I don't forget. If you want to learn something, you need to experiment with it. It's all about that knowledge plasticity or whatever, information plasticity, I think it was what it's called. Basically, your ability to play around with new knowledge that you received. That is how you know you have learned something. If you're able to play around with the new knowledge, it means you at least partially absorbed it. So that's important. Yes, yes. Yeah, no. I dig the effect of that is working. Do. I still find it hilarious that everyone, me included, confused this music for Rick Astley's song. I Are we about to get Ricky Road? No, it's just RoboSteam. Oh, okay. Hmm. Let's see. And at the end, I can make... We can make like a little gauntlet thingus here. Right at the end, and we can keep her feet exposed. I can make a toe. So how much value does exposed feet do? It's for us here. I know the anime feet stocks are high. Which is a weird sentence, but a true one. Lots of fanservice games are just going all in on foot. Well, let's think. What do exposed feet actually do for us? Not that much, really. I mean, it is more... It does have... It's like an agility thing, theoretically. But then again, your feet are exposed. You can step on, like, twigs and stuff and get hurt more easily. It gives the wild vibes, though. Because she's a cat. So it would be very catty of her to have exposed feet. But how wild is she compared to her other characteristics? Not that much, actually. She is a survivalist. I think I'll make let's have her have a tabby. Let's have her have a tabby. I think originally I made her to have a tabby. A sandal, if you will. Yeah, there we go. Footwear is important. It's minimal footwear, but it is footwear. There we go. Whoa. Right. Goes right around here. No, I can. Ding 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 ding. This feels like too much. Yeah, they look like socks. I think that was part of the reason why I settled for only down here. Interesting. On one side, it looked... Nah, it still looks a little bit weird. Okay. If you're going for bandage, usually bandage doesn't go like that. Do you mean the renderization or like how far the bandages go? Which way do you mean, Mamachi? They look like a pattern. Bandages are random. That is true! That is true! No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, that... Yeah, you're absolutely right. It would have been more like... something along the lines of this. And maybe some of this. Stuff like this, right? Just as an example. I'm drawing it as an example. Kind of like this. Would have been more adequate for bandages. Yeah, no, totally, I see. It's kind of funny that it's almost selling. But you are correct. Bandages would be way more something like this. Yeah, I realize it. I realized too late. I mean, can change it. There's still time to change it, really. No time to change like the present. There we go. How about now? We even got a before and after. Bit better? Okay. In other words, there's still room for improvement. Guess. Honestly, make that one brighter to bring it out. I'm gonna need some ref for this. I am not feeling it though. I'm not feeling it though. I don't know if like wrapping up the lag fully really is the way to go. I kind of like a little bit of Legos exposed. I was just thinking that, I don't know, the skirt being too tight, I know it's like almost 18. We could try this type of garment instead, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so let me leave as it is. Right now. And we are not even close to done. But I think I need to stop a little bit and slip on it. You know what I mean? Yeah, but we're going for more half an hour? No, I'm gonna wrap up now. I'm gonna wrap up the string now. For now, I'm gonna wrap up the string. So with that said, everyone, thank you all very much for joining me today. Hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Stay awesome. And now we find someone to raid. Take care, Super Fudge. Have a good one. Let me see. What's on today? Who can we raid? Let's see. Oh, Kitty Kitty is on doing some software work. Oh. Man, Ryo Rascal VT is on. I I mean, wait. No. It was a different one who rebranded. Okay. Silent Hill 2. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat. Cutie Kitty is also pretty neat. Okay, we rate Cutie Kitty. Let's rate Cutie Kitty. So everyone, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Stay awesome, and I'll catch you guys next time, okay? So remember, when in doubt, when you think you can't do it, just think like a ninja. And sure you can! Bye-bye, everyone! Have a good one! Bye! Bye-bye! Have a good one. I forgot to press the rate button at the right time, so now it's slightly awkward and I keep talking in order to make it less awkward, but I don't think it's gonna work. But it's time to rate, so bye-bye!